Greetings, friends. It's wonderful to be here. I really needed a different background. I'm going to be playing some Wingspan this afternoon, and the soundtrack of Wingspan is just so beautiful. So relax, kick back, and enjoy the opportunity to see how birds can live in the different elements, different lands, different spaces that exist around the place as we play together. Wingspan. Gameplay. There we go. That seems to be working now. So I'm going to organise a custom play. Custom play with 3 birds. I'm going to be playing this one, and then there'll be 2 others. And we're not using any expansions today. Okay, here we go. Into the beautiful surrounds of the countryside. Wingspan's a fantastic board game. I love Wingspan as a board game. It's really a lot of fun. Just going to see if I can get it down and show it to you, but I think I may have it in one of my travel bags at this point in time for playing on Thursdays. You play in a series of 4 rounds, and the first round has 8 turns, second has 7, third round has 6, and the last round has 5. So there's one less turn in each round. You can do different things in the different areas of the game, and I'll go through that in a moment. I'll explain how the board game Wingspan works. The board game Wingspan has got some fantastic game elements in it. Some wonderful dice to roll, a bird feeder dice roller, so that's really lovely as well. And I'm getting some echo. Let me just see if I can work out where that's coming from. If I take that one off, maybe I have got the echo problem fixed. That is fixed. Thank you very much. Great. So there we are. This game has got a dice roller for the bird feeder. You've got your own little mat where you can actually bring together your birds. There's eggs, these beautiful little eggs. I'll go through all of that, the different areas. On your turn, you can take one of 4 actions. You can play a bird from your hand. You can gain food and activate the forest bird's powers. You can lay eggs in the grasslands, and that activates the grassland powers. Or you can draw bird cards and activate the wetland bird powers. So the number of birds in each area has an effect on the number of powers that will happen, and also the things that might actually occur. So we'll go through that in just a moment. But right now, I'm going to click to start the first turn. At the beginning, I get to make some decisions about which elements I want to have available. So at the beginning, I've got 5 things I can have amongst birds that have been dealt out randomly from the bird deck, and the things the birds eat. I can take 5 things and keep. So if I were to take 3 birds, I could only take 2 bits of food. If I were to take 3 bits of food, I can only take 2 birds, and so on and so on. So I have to try and work out what the best ratio is. I also look up here at the end of each of the rounds, there's a particular goal. So the person who has the most eggs in nest boxes, which is what that symbol means, and you can see the symbols for the different nests there, is the one who gets the bonus points in the first round. This one here is read slightly differently. It is cluster, or birds with... Hang on. Got to get the thing to come up. It's coming up, there we go. Count the total number of birds with specific nest type. So this is this cluster one, so that's like what the black skimmer has here. So those birds with an egg, at least 1 egg, so that's per bird, whereas this is per egg. Total number of birds altogether, and birds in the forest. So I've got to try and keep that in mind to get my bonus points as I go. Hello, if you've just joined me, I'm just going through Steam's version of the Wingspan game, which is a board game that I really love to play, but I get the opportunity to play it by myself or against AI when I'm playing online. So I'm just showing that off. It's beautiful. Sounds beautiful, soundtrack, beautiful imagery, lots of information about birds. So I think to begin with, I'm going to choose the black skimmer. No, I'm not. See, I don't have any box nests, so this can be played multiplayer as well, so I can invite people who also have this game to play it with me. So if you do have this game and you'd like to play sometime with me, we could do this together. I can bring you onto the channel, we can have a game of Wingspan and talk about what we're doing. So that's always a bit of fun too. If this bird is to the right of all other birds, I think I'm actually going to go for this one. I'm going to take the chimney swift, and to get the chimney swift out, I'm going to need two caterpillars, and I don't have 2 caterpillars. So I think I'm also going to put the fish crow into my listing, and I'm going to take a fish and a grain. So that's my 2 birds and my 3 bits of grain. Now, as well as that, I've got a bonus card. So at the end of the game, I'll get bonus points if I've got lots of these things. So birds with at least 4 eggs laid on them, I'll get 1 per bird. So not all birds can actually have lots of eggs on them. As you can see, the birds I've taken can only have 2, whereas the loggerhead shrike can take 4 eggs down the bottom here. So I have to be a little bit careful about doing it that way as well. I'm taking the chimney swift and the fish crow. What is the other option? The backyard birder. Birds worth less than 4 points. Now that works okay because the chimney swift has less than 4, the fish crow doesn't. So for every bird that's worth less than 4 points, so if I get 5 to 6 birds, I'll get 3 bonus points at the end of the game. And if I can get up to 7 plus birds, I'll get 6 points. So it also tells me nicely down the bottom that 43% of the cards actually match this. So I've got a reasonable chance at getting a good number of birds in for this one. If you've joined me, I want to say to you a big welcome. Great to see you here. And if you want to look at some of the other things I'm up to, here is the link to my link space where you can check out my podcasts and my other bits and pieces. I'm going to choose to go with the backyard birder, and we're going to begin playing the game. So as you can see, the layout here, I've got 8 turns left, and I can see that information up here. This is the down here is the stuff I've actually collected. So total eggs laid is up the top, and the amount of food. I've got different kinds of food I've got, so that's really nice. This is what's in the bird feeder at the moment that I can select from if I were to take that. I'm going to click to start the turn. These are the 2 birds you saw I picked earlier, and this is my bonus card for the end of the game. There are some birds that will allow me to pick up new bonus cards, so that's also really cool if we can get that to happen. Alright, so in the forest, well, in any area, you take the first one here that's highlighted. If I put a bird there, then it activates this next one. If I want to put more birds in there, it costs me eggs. So it costs 1 egg to go into that slot, 1 there, 2 to go there, and 2 to go there. And I can only fill them up from left to right. In the forest, I can get 1 dice from the bird feeder if I choose that as an option. If I have this one, if I sacrifice a bird card, I can get an additional dice from the bird feeder. Here I just get the 2, and so on, 2 plus 1 if I sacrifice, and 3. And if they're all full, then I can take 3 plus 1 if I sacrifice a bird. So that's what's in the forest. In the grassland, so moving back away from the forest, you can see the forest in the distance there. It's pretty cool. There is where I can collect my eggs from. So you can see here that Normally, without any birds, I can collect 2 eggs, but if I have 1 bird in that space, then I can have 2 eggs, and if I sacrifice some food from my food supplies, I can get an additional egg. 3, and so on with an additional egg. 4, and if they're all full, I can get 4 plus 1 with an additional egg. So that's what happens in the grassland. Down the bottom underneath, actually I'll finish off with the wetlands. Moving further out, I'm in the wetlands now. This is where I can get additional bird cards. Look at that dragonfly going past, isn't that beautiful? I can get additional birds here. I can get 1 additional bird if there's no birds there. In this space, I sacrifice eggs in order to get additional birds. So in the second slot, I can get 1 bird plus 1 for an egg, and 2 plus 1 for an egg, 3, and then if they're all full, 3 bird cards, and additional 1. I can select those bird cards from the collection of birds that are out, so that's these ones here, drawn bird cards, or I can draw blind from the top of the pile, and that lets me go with that. Whew. Sorry, just got a bit of a yawn there. This game is so beautiful. It's making me very relaxed and chill. Very relaxed and chill. I might have a drink while I'm waiting. What I probably should do is I probably should put out a share, shouldn't I? I should probably share what I'm doing. To Facebook. Yep. Page I manage to never order even. I wonder if I can copy that. See if there's any friends up here. Welcome aboard if you've just arrived. I'm going to be showing... Oh, they've got a board game section in Universe. Promotion section I'm looking for up here. Announcements. Is it announcements? No, not announcements. Must be introductions, rules, promotion box. There it is. And I might do the same thing down here in the streaming section. Wingspan. Okie dokie. So yeah, I've got to make some decisions now that we're actually all in, and I've done a bit of publishing, a bit of sharing. Hello Hank, how you doing? This is probably not your scene for games. I'm using the Steam version of Wingspan, a board game that I love to play. There's chill music playing, and I'm by the water as the dragonflies flutter past. But I've decided I'm gonna to chill out a little bit, relax, and just sort of get myself into the Zen zone before our sit rep, and we have to GTFO a bit later on. So, welcome aboard. Enjoy the music, and watch. Have you played Wingspan before? Elden Ring. That's cool. I haven't played that, but I'm keen. So, what I'm doing at the moment is I've got to make some decisions about where I want to play my birds. I can play them in the forest, which will let me gain greater food. I can play them in the grassland, where I can get more eggs, or in the wetlands, where I can get more birds. And each bird comes with a little card on them. As you can see, the fish crow can be played anywhere. And it has its own little brown activation thing at the bottom. Discard one egg from any of your other birds to gain one food from the supply. It's pretty cool. So you can get rid of eggs to get that. So I kind of want to put him in the grassland, because then I get eggs, I can discard eggs, I can get food. So that's cool, kind of cool. You'll notice over here that the American white pelican only lives in the wetlands and eats 2 fish. So he can only be put there, whereas these other ones can be put anywhere. The black-chinned hummingbird is pretty cool as well. So what I'm going to do as my opening maneuver is I'm thinking I've got what I need to put out the fish crow. So I'm going to put the fish crow out. It's now saying to me with the fish crow that it will cost me 1 grub and 1 fish. So this symbol here means any food, and that means that one. So it's selected the grub. Now I could change that by hitting change, and instead of using my grub, use my grain instead. And so that way I've actually got my fish and my grain. I'm keeping my grub because I need my grub for the chimney swift. So here's where I'm going to go. I'm going to press the button, lock that in, and say yes.
Fish crow. These birds may eat more fish than other crows, but they're actually omnivores.
Wow, I got a little commentary. I haven't played it with the sound on before, because usually I keep it quiet. I just do it. I got some commentary there. That was really lovely. Alright, so that was my turn. There's 7 turns left in round 1 of 4. So, I'm going to click to start the turn. And this time, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to have a look and see what's in the bird feeder. So there are grubs in the bird feeder, see that there? Oh, this dice here means you can choose between grain or grubs. So that's pretty cool. And I think what I'm going to do is take some eggs. So I'm going to click on this one. I don't want to give up my food, so I'm just going to take my 2 eggs, and I have to click on the bird, so I can put 1 egg, 2 eggs. I put my 2 eggs onto the fish crow, and then I'm going to go into the end of the turn. Now, because I've used taken eggs, it now activates the fish crow. The fish crow allows me to discard 1 egg from any of my other birds. See, I didn't read that very well. I have to put it on an other bird. So I can't actually use that ability this time. And so it says, in order to so I have to go like that and move on. It's alright, I'll get to use it later on when I have some other birds. Okay. Anna's hummingbird, each player gains 1 from the bird feeder, starting with the player of your choice. Okay. So it looks like I have gained 1, so I get to choose something from the bird feeder. Now, I'm glad this has come up, because it looks like the others have taken the grubs and other bits. If there's any time when I have to choose from the bird feeder and all the options are the same, so in this case you can see they are all the same, I can re-roll the bird feeder and see what comes out. So I'm going to do that because I particularly would like to have a grub so I can put my chimney swift out. So I've re-rolled it, and look at that, I've been really lucky, I've got the grub. So I'm going to take the grub from the bird feeder and I'm going to grab that. So now I have 2 of those, which is really good. So now I'm going to click to start the next turn. There are 6 turns left. Now, what I can do now is I can put the chimney swift into position here. And I've got 2 grubs, so I can pay for my 2 grubs. Okay, click on a bird. I have to spend an egg to do it because it was an egg cost up the top. So I'm going to do that now. And click on a bird from habitat to spend an egg. And so I'm going to do that right
Chimney
now.
swift. These birds have adapted to nest in chimneys instead of hollow trees.
Wow, that is so cool. I'm learning and playing a game at the same time. Isn't this nice? And I'm getting to listen to some very soothing and beautiful music. Hey Hank, what time did we decide the sit rep was going to be for GTFO? Um, 5 o'clock. Okay, all right. Well, I should have my game finished by then. So what I'm going to do now is I want to take some eggs. I can get 3 eggs. If I do that, I've got 3 slots. Then I can discard an egg from the chimney swift and get myself some more food for my thing. So I'm going to do that. Click there. Okay. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And that's done. Now this one here says, if this bird is to the right of all other birds in the habitat, which it is, then I can move it to another habitat. So if my options are, I can either move it to the wetlands habitat or to the forest habitat. Now if I move it to the forest habitat, it will give me access to this one here, which lets me take a one and then get an extra one if I sacrifice a bird. However, I don't have any birds, so I probably want to move it to here, where I can actually take a bird and an additional bird if I sacrifice an egg. And I've got lots of eggs at the moment. So my decision is going to be that I'm going to move the chimney swift to the wetlands. Here we go. And look at him go. If I have a look now, he's right there in the wetlands, giving me access to that for my next go. So start to think ahead a little bit, you know, and plan for how this is going to work. Okay, back here, like before, I can now discard an egg from any of my other birds to gain some food from the supply. So I'm going to discard one from the chimney swift, and that lets me take food from the supply. Now I need to have a look and see what birds might be available. The turkey vulture will cost me nothing and will give me potentially some more. This one here looks like it's going to give me fish. So I'm going to take a fish from the supply. So that's cool. And that's my turn. All right. There are 4 turns remaining. I'm clicking to start the turn. All players, because of the black-chinned honeybird, get 1 from the supply. So I like that. That gives me an extra one of those from the supply. That's nice. Okay. So now that that's happened, I'm going to actually do this one. And I get to take an additional bird if I'm prepared to sacrifice eggs. So I'm going to sacrifice one of the crow's eggs. That lets me take 2 birds from the supply. Now, remembering that I'm looking for birds with eggs in this area, so I'm going to take the turkey vulture and I'm going to take the American white pelican. they now go into my available birds. Okay, I have to move the chimney swift to another habitat. Now I'm going to need some food. So if I were to move him up there, I can discard one of these birds to get an extra bit of food. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to send this one up here into the forest, and that's where he's now landed. Okay. Alright. So, in order to get the pelican out, well, I think I've got a hard decision to make now, because I kind of want to put the turkey vulture out. And I think... where do I want to put it? I think I want to put the turkey vulture over here, and it's going to cost me nothing to put that out, because I want to put at least one egg. If I want to have a look, I can see where everybody else is at. At the moment, I've got one egg in a wild and no eggs in there, so if I can get an egg into there, that'll give me 2. It costs me no food to put it there. Okay, so we're going to go next.
Turkey vulture. Turkey vultures can projectile vomit to defend themselves.
Ew. Oh, that's nice. So I'm going to get a fish from supply. So now I've got enough to put my white pelican out. I've got 2 turns left. I'm thinking what I want to do is put my white pelican out. My white pelican out here. And I have to remove one from there, so I'm going to take it off the crow.
American white pelican. Pelicans work together to herd fish and then scoop them up.
Okay, so this says here, when another player gains from there, I get to take one from there. So somebody must have done that. So I get to take one from the feeder. Now the question is, do I want a mouse or do I want something else? I'm going to see what else I can get. So I'll roll the bird feeder. And I'm actually thinking that what I really need to do now is to take a grub. So I've taken my grub, that's cool. Okay, so I have 1 turn left. What I really want to be able to do before this turn ends is to actually be the leader in that bonus area. So that means it's time for me to get some eggs. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to sacrifice my berries to get an additional egg, so I get 3 eggs to put out. So that's really lovely. I'm going to put 1 onto there because that's going to be helpful. I'm going to put, I've already got 1 now, I'm going to put 1 onto there, so that's also very helpful. And my 3rd one, I want to use the crow, so I don't want to put it on there. I'm going to put it onto the pelican. And so then I'm going to say thank you very much for all of that, and now find that it's time to use this. So I'm going to sacrifice 1 egg from the pelican, and that will allow me to take some food from somewhere else. And I think I want to take some grain. It's from supply, which is giving me access to these birds, which is really cool. I have 3 birds with eggs on them. The others have none, which means that I get 4 bonus points. So that's pretty cool. It helps me out at the end of the game. I'm also doing pretty well in this second one. So, we're now into the next round. We're now playing for this second bonus. And I've only got, 7 turns to go with this. But I've got quite a nice collection of birds, so that actually is helping me. So what I want to do is I'm thinking I need some birds in my hand in order to do it. I've got a little bit of food. So I'm thinking, and the kind of nests that I'm looking for are these ones. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is click on this. I wish I had some fish, because then I could tuck 2 behind this. That would give me bonus points. So maybe I should have taken fish. Or before I do that, maybe the best thing to do... Oh, yes, of course. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to select to take food. I'm going to take a fish, and I'm going to go from there. If this is to the right of all other birds, I can move it to another habitat. Now, if I were to move it down here, I'm going to get even more birds if I actually sacrifice an egg. And I've got eggs to spend at the moment, so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to send that little bird into the wetlands. The chimney swift is now living in the wetlands. Isn't that beautiful? So very beautiful. And then I'm going to click to start the next turn. So now I'm going to draw birds, because that's going to be fun, isn't it? So here we go, drawing birds. My options are that I can take the yellow-rumped warbler, I can take the common yellow-throat, and I can take the Cooper's hawk. I'm kind of thinking that I really want to get birds with this nest, so I'm going to take 1 blind and hope I get one, which I don't. I'm going to try again, which I don't. And I'm going to try a 3rd time to see if I can be lucky. Oh, hang on, before I do that, I have to put my condor's egg in, and then I can take a 3rd one. And look at that, I am fortunate. The northern shoveler has given me what I need. So, that's pretty cool. So I've completed my turn with my 3 cards. This bird now gets to move. So I'm going to move this bird up to this area so I can get more food in just a moment. So there we go. There's my chimney swift hanging out in that area. If I have a look, I've now got 1 with those in that area, and I'm working towards getting more. Okay, I can discard, so I'm going to do that. And then I get to put 2 birds behind. See that I've tucked those 2, they're worth points for me later on. So now that it's my turn, I've got these ones I can do. I really want to put the northern swallower, northern shoveler out if I can. I don't have enough food to do that, but I could choose to get some extra food. I could put the American crow out, which would be good. Discard 1 egg. So if I were to put the American crow out here next to the fish crow, then I would be able to get even more stuff. And I'm happy to give up the grub, so that's fine. So that's done. Now I have to give up an egg in order to make that work, which I do have an egg here on the chimney swift, so that's cool. So that's really good. So now I want to get this one out so that I can get some eggs onto it. So I need some food. So now that that one's up there, I'm going to click on this here, and neither of those bits of food are actually any good to me at the moment, so I probably don't want to do that. So I can go back if I didn't like that idea. I want them to use up the food so that I can get new options, because I'm really looking for different kinds of food. So this might be a really good time to actually put some eggs out. So I'm going to click on this, and that lets me put 3 eggs out into the world. I already have 1 there, so that's why that is showing me as 1. So they're from other birds. So if I put 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there, then that is a good move for me. Now I can discard an egg from here. That lets me get I can get from supply. So I already have one of those, so I want one of those. So that's good. Now I can discard this egg, and then that lets me get one of those, and that gives me enough to put my northern shoveler out in just a moment. So I'm going to say yes to that. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so now it's my turn. I've still got some unfortunate stuff here to deal with. Do I want to? How many eggs have I got? I want to keep those eggs because I'm leading that at the moment. But I still have 3 turns to go before I have to have that completed. So I'm thinking my best bet would be actually to get some more eggs. So I'm going to click that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to put my eggs out just like before. And I'm going to put one right there. Okay, now so back here again. Going to discard this egg. And I'm going to get myself a fish. And I'm going to discard this egg, and I'm going to get myself a rodent. How's that? That's pretty cool. It's a good way of getting eggs and supply. Okay. So right now, I want to put out my northern shoveler. And in order to put that out, I'm going to put that there like that. It's worth 7 points at the end of the game, so that's pretty cool. Alright, and I have to discard an egg from anywhere, so I'm going to discard one from up here.
Northern shoveler. The shoveler's large bill strains invertebrates from the water.
Alright. I've already got a mouse, so I think I'm going to get one of those. Okay, so this is my final turn, so I really want to try and get them onto the right places. I don't have an egg here, so I'm going to choose to lay eggs again. We're going to put one there, one there, and we're going to put one there. So now that I've done that, I can actually get more food, just like I did before. I can discard this egg here and get more food. So I might grab myself, might get a grub, and then I'm going to do this to discard and get a grain. And now I've got one of every kind of food, which is pretty cool. Take from the bird feeder, so I might get myself an extra mouse just for fun. Alright, this is going really well. So they haven't scored any points because they've got the right ones. I've got 5, so that means that I'm now 9 points in front with bonus points before we get to the end of the game. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's go. We're into the next set of rounds now, so this time it's about total number of birds. I've got 6 birds, they've got 5, and I'm in a position where I can put out even more birds. Even more birds. I've got plenty of eggs to spend. Oh, no I don't. Do I? Oh yeah, I've got heaps of eggs to spend, yep. So, and I no longer need to keep them for that. So, birds in the forest is the last one I want to do, and I'm a little light on there, so we're going to be sort of prioritising that coming up. But right now, I'm going to play this one. And I think I'm going to spend my little fishy. I'm going to have to put 2 eggs out in order to get that.
Pied-billed grebe. Pied-billed grebes create a floating platform nest with plant material.
Oh, wow. nice. I currently don't have any birds, so I probably want to get some birds. At the moment, I've got 7 birds to their 6. So yes, that's what I want to do now. So I'm going to click on this, and this is going to let me get some birds. As I said, I wanted to prioritize birds going into the forest for the end of the game. So I'm going to take the Clark's Nutcracker and the common raven. Nice. Ooh, and he's good. He gets 2 from the supply. So that's a good one. And then I'll just take... I could take the puffin. It's worth 8 points, but I'm going to have to get 3 lots of fish to do that. So it's pretty expensive. So I'm just going to take a blind card. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So now I've got those 3 birds in play. Okay, draw 2, and if I do, discard 1 from my hand at the end of the turn. So I could take the Atlantic Puffin, or I could take 2 cards from the pile. I'm going to take the Puffin and 1 from the pile. Okay. All players get to draw 1 from the deck, so that's pretty cool. Let's do that. I'm happy. So that's given me lots of birds to play with. Okay. Discard a fish, which I don't have, and I could have tucked 2 birds in, but I don't have to. I can't do that, so I have to move on. And I have to discard 1 card. So I'm just thinking, the spotted Tui is worth no points, and it gets me grain from the supply. So I could get that one. It's cheap to get out. It's also under 30 centimeters, so I've got to remember that I'm actually looking for birds on a worth less than 4 points. So that does get me more of those. It's worth 1, 2, worth less than 4, so it's 2, 3, so that would get me a 4th bird, less than, yeah, okay, so I want to keep that one. Alright, so I'm going to discard this one. Alright. 4 turns left in this round. And I'm currently leading the number of birds. So I've got plenty of stuff now. I want to get more birds into this area, but I want to move this one first too, so I might actually put this one, and I'm going to discard a bird, so I'm going to discard the Atlantic Puffin. And that's going to let me take 2 food from the feeder. So I'm going to take a fish, because I need one of those for later on. And I'm going to take a grain, because that'll help me to maybe play one of those. So that's pretty cool. So that's done. If this bird is there, I can move it. So I could move it to the wetlands, which would fill that area completely up, which would be good. Or I could lay lots of eggs. I'm thinking that I want to play the raven into that space. Yeah, so maybe I want to lock that one. No, I don't want to lock that one. I'm going to send it to the wetlands for the moment, so I don't lock it in. Oh, and look at that. I've got an achievement. Move a bird between habitats 5 times in a game, so I've done that. I'm also going to get another one from the feeder, so that's going to allow me to take another fish, because that'll be handy. Okay. All right. 3 turns left in this round. So I want to make sure I've got the most total birds by the end of this round. So right now, I want to play the crow. Where's that crow gone? There it is. I want to play that into there. And it's going to allow me, I want to change that. I want to play one grain, one of those, and one mouse. Cool. Now I have to spend an egg to get it out. So I have to spend it from there. Okay, isn't that beautiful? So I've got the common raven out now, that's pretty cool. So now I've got more total birds than everyone else. I've got 2 rounds to go and I've got lots of food, so I probably want to just start playing things into this area here. It's not going to cost me any eggs. I don't have any eggs at the moment. So we want to put that one out. So we're going to put that one out and we're going to spend a grub.
Spotted towhee. These birds forage by hopping backwards to uncover insects and seeds in the leaf litter.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, look at that. I've got a good lead here now. There's only 1 turn left to go. So I'm thinking what I really want to do now is I really want to get some food in my supply for a big finish. So I'm going to... if I do this, I can tuck 2 more behind that one. I can move that bird to somewhere else. That'll give me lots of birds. But I think probably what I want to do is get some eggs. It's rough. It's a tough decision, really, when I'm thinking about it. But I need to also finish the game fairly quickly because I know they're going to be waiting for me. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to expend one of my fish. I get to lay 4 eggs. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And then my 4th egg is going to go onto the chimney swift. Okay, back in this area here. I'm going to discard 1 from supply to get 2 from supply. So I'm thinking I want to get myself one of those and one of those. Nope, sorry. One of those and one of those. Alright, this one's going to discard myself another fish, and then the last one we're going to get ourselves a berry just in case we need that. Okay, that's very cool. So I have the most there, so I'm going to get more bonus points than everyone else. And now we're into the last part. I know it's almost 5 o'clock, so I know, Hank, I'm going to be there very shortly. I'm just going to finish this game off, so, you know, just bear with me. If the others come on, get them to follow me so that they can be there as well, and then I'll join you in Discord in just a moment. Okay? So, that's how we're going to do it. I now want to go to the bird zone, because what I want to do now is get as many birds into that area as I possibly can. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to put Clark's Nutcracker into that space, and I'm going to change that so that it's the mouse and 2 grain. And I have to spend an egg from supply.
Clark's nutcracker. These birds are omnivorous, but cache thousands of pine seeds for the winter.
Really? Nice. I'm going to need to get a few more in there. So to do that effectively, I'm going to have to get some more birds. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go like this and choose 3 birds from supply. I'm going to take the pine skin. That's very costly, so I'm going to go one of those, yes, and one of those, yes. Look at that, nice. Okay, I can now move this one, so I'm going to move it to the forest habitat. Now, what's my next one? Draw 2 cards. If I do, I can choose one from my hand. Well, I'll take the indigo bunting, and I'll take one from supply. Look at that. Okay, now I can do that, so I'm going to, yes. Now I am going to tuck, yes. Alright, look at that, and now I have to discard one. So I'm going to discard that one. Alright, look at all my birds. I've got so many birds in my hand, and I'm going to get to take something from supply, so I'm going to take a mouse. Alright, so now I want to put, can I afford to put that one up there? Yes, I can. Oh, hang on, what am I short? Oh, I don't have any eggs. Okay, so I'm going to have to take some eggs. So let's do that. Let's go eggs, and we're going to give up our mouse. And we're going to park 4 eggs. So we need to have 2 eggs in there, and then we're going to put that one and that one in there. Now we're going to discard this egg to take 2 from supply, and we really want lots of berries. Oh no, we don't. We want, no. We got berries. We want lots of grain. Okay. And now we're going to discard this egg, and we're going to get ourselves some more berries. Okay. I don't have any more eggs that I can afford to get rid of, so I'm just going to skip this one. Need any fish, so I'm just going to re-roll, and let's have a look here. What can we play? We want to play the cheapy ones, so we're going to play that one. So that's a grub or a grain. Get ourselves another grain. Two turns left, and I think we're going to play 2 birds out. Although we're not going to have enough eggs to do that, are we? But we do get bonus points for eggs at the end of the game. So I think what we want to do is we want to put this one. Yep, let's do that. What a beautiful thing that Northern Cardinal is just playing some beautiful music. What do we want? Let's get another berry. Okay, this is my last turn. This is going to be my last turn. So let's have a look. How many have we got in the forest? We've got 4 in the forest, so that's pretty cool. We don't have enough eggs to be able to play anymore. We do get bonus points for eggs, so I think what we're going to do is click on this, and we're going to spend our last remaining fish. Oh, and I'm going to lay eggs. So let's put our eggs in the forest. Let's give them... skip. We don't want to give up our eggs for food at the moment because we get points for eggs, but we don't get points for food, and this is the last turn, so we're gonna not do any of those things. And now we get to see I have the most birds in the forest, so I'm going to get an additional 7 bonus points. So now we get to see who won. So for number of bird scores, I've managed to get 39 points. For bonus points, I've gotten that. I've got 22. For eggs, I've got an additional 4. And so at the end of the game, I've scored 72 points. The red player has scored 69, dude. And the green player has scored 45, which means that I have won my game of Wingspan. So it's beautiful. Do I want to archive this game? Yes, I do. Thank you all for joining me for a glorious game of Wingspan. I have really enjoyed taking some time to just enjoy a little bit of Wingspan. I'm going to be back in about half an hour or so. No, yeah, probably a little bit longer after we've had our sitrep on Discord to play some GTFO. So thanks for joining me for Wingspan, and I'll catch up with you all a bit later on this evening for a very different stream of some GTFO. Bye for now. See you soon.